Copyright strikes. Everyone loves copyright strikes and big corporation. What's up, guys? Talking about everything that's happened in the last 2 weeks, including what happened, why he struck my name, what the repercussions were for me, what my name is now, and why I've changed it. So let's start from the start, shall we? First thing, I got this message here, right here, from this guy, Ben Arthur, saying, "Hi Ben, I want to let you know that I've come to the conclusion I need to ask streaming services to take your music down in the US. So he's basically contacted Spotify, Pandora, iTunes, and just told them to completely take my music down because, well, basically we had the same name. The thing with that is, it's completely ridiculous because basically I have my rights protected for my music under APRA. Here we go, APRA-AMCOS. Basically, it's an Australian company. We're here for the music. We help music creators get paid for their work and give music users easy ways to legally play and copyright what they like. So basically, they're a service that you register your music with, and you're all good. You can have the rights to your music legally. You know, everything's protected. You can record and distribute your music internationally with services and things like that. So he didn't really have any grounds at all to remove my music like this, but he still lodged that request. So that shouldn't really be a problem, right? That shouldn't really be a problem, right? They should just turn around and just say, no, get out of here with that. You'd think that's what would happen. You'd think the streaming services, Spotify, iTunes, would turn around and say, no, this is complete nonsense, remove this, strike. What actually happens was this: I get contacted, I get an email from my distribution company. What a distribution company is basically you give them your music, they go ahead and distribute it to every other service that they can. So they're basically a middleman for streaming companies. It's kind of interesting that they exist, to be honest, in this day and age. I think in the past, most distribution companies have been involved in like making CDs and things, or making records for companies and putting them on the shelves. So they used to be really important in that. And these days, with everything going digital and like everything basically being streaming services, that's how you listen to music now on Spotify or iTunes or whatever. It seems kind of weird that there's this middleman, but that's kind of how it is and kind of how it's worked out. I mean, truth be told, they might be made irrelevant soon. But anyway, the company I have, Spin Up, contact me telling me that my music is going to be taken down off the shelves within 2 business days. Yeah, unless I get in contact with them and tell them I want to challenge this, they're just going to completely remove my music from all stores. And the other thing was, not only did they say that, both stores, all the stores that he contacted, also did remove my music in the meantime while we figure it out. So they took my music off the shelves, figuratively speaking, whilst we were handling and talking about this with that. So from this guy, he didn't have the basis to do it at all. It's completely ridiculous. He didn't have the rights to be able to take down my music. But as soon as they got the response, as soon as Spotify got the response, they just took it down anyway and just said, and they told me you have 2 business days or it's going to be permanent. So I basically contacted saying, this is ridiculous, my music is protected, he has no legal standings, please respond to the streaming services. She basically, I sent that out to my distribution company. Now basically she messaged me back saying that she encouraged me to reach out to this guy and try to get a solution. I guess I got to talk to him, and it was the best course of action, because basically I'm contesting this, and this can go to court. Like, this can go, if I contest this, if Spotify doesn't do anything about it, or if they basically have the jurisdiction to do whatever they want under their community guidelines, is what they call it. And if I want to contest that and keep pushing through this, I would end up in a court in America to have to do this. And, you know, I got to fly to America, and it's a bit hard to do these days. And it cost me a ton of money. So my only option is really to talk to this guy to try to get him to remove it, which, truth be told, and the thing that gets really, this is where it gets kind of interesting, because I was actually planning on changing my name anyway. I was thinking that I got a new release coming out next year. I got some music coming out soon, and I was thinking that Ben Arthur, it wasn't really where I wanted to do. I wanted more of a interesting name, which I'll get to in a minute what that's going to be. But the fact is, he didn't even reach out to me, try to talk to me about this, because I would have told him, hey man, I'm changing my name anyway, you don't have to strike this down. But instead he just sends me the message saying he's going to. So I talked to him. I'm just saying, hey man, I got this copy strike as a mark against me. Would you be like, just remove it? I'm going to change my name. I won't go through all of them because there's like a lot that we go through about the case. There's a lot of talking, but basically he was refusing to remove the strike against me because he felt that it was leverage that he could use to pressure me into a situation that he wanted the outcome for. Which I was already happy. That was the first email I sent to him, was basically, dude, I want to change my name too. Like, I will definitely do that. Can you remove the strike? So it seems like he was just being a bit slimy with it all, like a bit of a slimeball, I would say, is probably the nice way to put it. Because why would you do that? I do want to point out some things in this, which he basically comes to me and says, where is it? He basically turns to me and says, if you uploaded your songs under the name Taylor Swift, you would expect the streaming services to remove your music, right? Like, he's still trying to justify it. But A, he doesn't have any legal standing at all. And B, he's no Taylor Swift. No one's ever heard of this guy. Like, he's basically an irrelevant musician. The other funny thing was, he's been doing this for 15 years, because I've been performing under Ben Arthur for a while now. And he turns to me and is like, well, I've had the trademark for 15 years. And it just kind of struck me that he hadn't gotten anywhere, this guy, in 15 years time. He hadn't made a name for himself. No one knows who he is. No one recognizes himself. Is basically irrelevant. And so he felt threatened by me because I was getting more attention. I was getting more influence. My name was coming up whenever you Google search. His name wasn't. So like, it was almost like he was sitting there searching his name every day to see how famous he was getting, which is kind of sad. And to turn around, and instead of focusing and trying to be like, okay, maybe this isn't for me. Maybe I've been doing this for 15 years. Maybe there's a reason I'm not doing that. He decides to try to take down someone else's work because he feels threatened. And it's like, I don't think it's a great way to act, because in these cases, they send a cease and desist. Like, if there's a thing, they send correspondence saying, hey, we want to take down your music. We would like you to change your name or something like that. Instead of going through that route, instead of trying to talk it out, he just tries to do the strongest, most negatively impacting thing possible. He does it instantly, and puts me in trouble. So eventually he agrees. Eventually I'm just like, dude, like, you got to remove this strike. I don't want to have to sue you. I don't want any of this. Let's just remove the strike and do that. He wanted me to just take my album down completely and re-upload it, which, people who had already purchased my album, they have to repurchase it if that's the case. And I know it's not a lot of people who did that, but it's like 15 to 20 people spent like about $20 each on this. Like, it's not going to impact me too much, but it's going to impact people who are trying to support me a lot more. And as well as that, my stats all reset. Like, it's like I've done a ton of promotional stuff through Facebook, Twitch, YouTube, a ton of different things. to get people to start listening and following my music, which is working out for me, and that just completely gets erased over the last 3 months, so I didn't want to do that at all. Eventually, yeah, he does agree. I'm gonna take back this strike, and then I get contacted by my distribution company again. My distribution company, they wanted to remove my album and do that again, but eventually we talked it through, and they've reinstated the copy strikes being removed. But the thing is, my music's been down for 2 weeks, and another thing is, all my stats on Spotify, they got reset anyway, so I'm basically back to square one. So I'll tell you, anyone who's watching, I would ask that you follow me again, listen to the album again. You know, I want to try to get some stats up and try to get it to new people. You know, if you could, if there's a song that you like, add it to one of your regular gym playlists or whatever. That's actually the most helpful you can possibly be to me if you want to support me. And yeah, we got to start from start. But I think the big takeaway here that I would say is, if you're in a situation like this, some dickhead musician, some corporation tries to mess you over, you gotta fight back, and you gotta do it real quick, and you gotta do it instantly. Because I had basically 2 days to respond to this email, and if I didn't respond, my music was down, and it was down permanently, even though they had no legal bearing to do that at all. It leaves a real sour taste for me with this. Like, it's like I kind of expect better from a musician, someone who's creating their own content. I don't expect them to do stuff like this. Most cases with copyrights, in big cases of claims, like with, say, a Michael Jackson song, there's been a few, or with like Beatles songs or anything like that, it's not actually the musicians themselves who are putting these claims in. It's more people who purchase the rights to the music and try to make money off of it. So it's you never really get musicians who do this sort of stuff, but it's kind of good to be aware that this stuff can happen. Like, people can just try to do this, and you've got to fight back instantly. So yeah, thanks for watching. You know, if you want to support me, like, subscribe to the channel, you know, comment. I got some new music coming, and you know, my name is now going to be Nuffjar in all capitals moving forward, which is slang that we used to use growing up in Darwin, and it kind of means something to me. So yeah, I hope you guys enjoy, you know, the music and the content I've been putting out, and I'm going to keep putting it out.